I've decided there were not enough walkthroughs of Halo that weren't sweaty speedruns. Not enough guidance on how to actually beat Halo Legendary Combat Evolved for real. Not only am I going to beat this game, but I'm going to smash the par time and par score set for each mission on Legendary. Without further ado, Lifeisaplanet here, let's get into it. Alright, so we're on to the second mission of Halo, literally called Halo. Right off the bat, you're going to want to pick up all this ammo and grenades right here. Just make sure you don't skip that stuff. Then you're going to move on to this bridge and just take a peek at the beauty of this map and mission in the remaster. Now, we're not going to do the grenade jump at the end of the ravine because we're doing this for par time and par score, and that negates some of the par score you want to start building right off the bat here.
They must be looking for survivors. I recommend immediate.
And I found that if you're attempting to get both par time and par score, it's actually best that you take out this Banshee in a certain fashion so that you can pick up the Elite's plasma rifle. You're going to want to pick that up. Hopefully you can destroy the Banshee so that it's flying over you and towards the objective. If you can do that, then the Elite's plasma rifle might fall out ahead of you along your path. If not, that's totally cool. You're just going to have to destroy these grunts first. I pretty much kill all the grunts first anyways, just to make sure they're not straggling about, messing with me while I'm trying to kill this Elite. But I do find it easiest to pick up a plasma rifle off of one of those Elites and the Banshees first, then make my way over here. In my Pillar of Autumn playthrough, I mentioned that I wouldn't be doing too many skips, too many like glitch skips or anything, because I wanted to keep the legitimacy of this being a legendary guide, as well as you can't always get your score or can't always get par score doing a lot of the skips. However, in this one, being that it's on legendary, getting a few multi-kills pretty much brings your score up like tremendously. So there's minimal skips that we'll be doing anyways, just because, well, one, I don't know how to do all of them, and two, some of it is just not going to allow you to get score that you need to be able to get par score. Par time, however, is the big picture here, as it's incredibly difficult to get par time playing this on normal. So yeah, that's a big part of it. The only skip we really do in here is killing one group of the Marines. I guess there are two groups of the Marines, but you know, we'll get more into that as we get there. It's not pure in depth as a legendary speedrun, because a legendary speedrun just isn't doable for par score, and so it's just not a legit way of beating this mission. I do it as legit as you possibly can, minus killing some Marines, but it's just how the objective goes. Cortana says like, oh, you didn't save any of them, and then the ship comes down, and or not, the ship doesn't come down to the end, but then you get the checkpoint and you're able to move on. Just wanted to specify that I don't do too many skips. I keep it as legit as I possibly can. But anyways, to start things off here, you're going to want to time a grenade just as those doors open, or a little bit after, so that you can get these two Elites that jump out right on top of it. That can be pretty tricky, but you just kind of figure it out over time, the timing and everything. You can kind of see just how it worked right there. It's pretty simple. And you're going to want to magnum the rest of the stragglers. In my opinion, for the entirety of this mission, the Jackals are the biggest threat. Not even the Elites, the Jackals seem to be the biggest problem. So you're going to want to take them out second after the Elites. If you can take the Elites out first, great, but if not, the Jackals must come next. They're just an extreme pester. You're going to do the same grenade throw right here. As you can see, it wasn't even enough to kill that one Elite, but I had a charge shot ready. I'm always ready with a noob tube combo, so that's kind of a given. You're going to want that plasma pistol and magnum combo. And once you get rid of that first layer of enemies on that side, you're going to want to just get ready for the grunts that come on this side, because even after the Elites are dead, they will still charge you and shoot at you. I also like to really just look at this mission and see how beautiful everything is. They really did a great job with the remaster, minus some areas. Obviously, many people do not like the brightness impact of the remaster on certain darker levels like 343 Guilty Spark or the Library. I have that same opinion. I think that they really kind of just missed the mark with some of the remastered graphics here. But I mean, they wanted to showcase, you know, new style and art, and you know, the degree at which they can upgrade the design of everything, and so I don't blame them for just trying to make it look nice. We already had the game in the first place, so it's okay if it didn't look, if the lighting wasn't the way people wanted it in the remastered 10 years later. So you can literally play it in the old version. I guess I should also say, once you kill that round, once you kill that drop ship, you want to be able to beeline it back over here because 2 ships are going to drop consecutively, and it's okay if you don't time this grenade here, but you're going to hope you can. It can be a bit of a pain if you don't get those 2 elites out of the way pretty quickly. That jackal, like I said, it's second right there. You want to be able to get that guy next after the elites are dead. Once you take care of the jackal and the elites, you know, the grunts just cannon fodder. Pretty much mow them down easily. Also, you're going to want to keep getting multi-kills and consecutive quick kills, as that's going to up your score, and it's going to be very important here. And here's another example of what happens when you throw the grenade just a little bit too soon. It got the first 2 grunts that jumped out, but the other 2 that were honestly jumping out still at the same time, just slightly behind, it didn't even register on them. So you have to be really careful about that. In this little area, you're going to be able to keep that mound for some cover. I think that's a good idea, especially because that elite might just charge you alone over the mound. Once you take care of him, there should be another jackal and grunt running around somewhere. Once you get them, that is the end of this section. You're in good time if you're able to complete this portion in under 6 minutes. I am a little bit behind, but that's okay because of the skips. If you're not doing the skips, then you definitely have to be done with this whole portion in under 6 minutes. You're going to want to go back up to the little structure there, grab some ammo and health if you don't already have max. And I should reiterate that when I say skips, I don't mean I'm actually skipping anything. I just mean I'm going to be killing 2 groups of Marines in which it hits the checkpoint instead of having to wait for the Marines to be rescued, and then we move on at each of those points. Here, just take a moment to breathe because you just got done with probably the most stressful part of this entire game. No, not really. Definitely not. But the most stressful part of this mission, in my opinion. The rest of it is a little bit smooth sailing once we get out of the light bridge, which is what I'm going into right now. So we're going to head down there. And also, for the record, I've been speeding things up because in my first playthrough, I used cuts. And while I'm a small channel and don't have a bunch of views, it's not like I have a bunch of people complaining about me using cuts and that maybe I was being illegitimate or something. I have no problem with people thinking it's illegitimate or not, because that is not the purpose of this. I'm not recording my time. I'm not claiming my time. I'm simply just making the videos showing you. And I decided maybe it'd be a little bit more straightforward if I just sped up the video in the parts where it's just boring and lagging or tedious, or you already know what to do and it's too obvious. I don't want to waste people's time. In terms of what I want when I'm watching a legendary playthrough or a walkthrough of some sort, I don't necessarily enjoy the cuts, but I do enjoy sped up portions that are impertinent to the rest of the playthrough. Like, I'm trying to play it myself. I don't want to watch you go through this long tunnel that I will also be going through. And so that's my reasoning behind speeding up some of these portions. I decided I wouldn't be using cuts anymore, and I'll just do that so that way it's a little bit more straightforward that this is the same run and that I'm not, I don't know, stitching together different runs for some reason. And if you didn't catch it, I shot the glass below that panel to activate the light bridge. I'm not sure if it actually works or not, but occasionally you get a cutscene if the game deems it safe. So, you know, if there's enemies shooting at you and whatnot, then it's probably not going to do the cutscene anyways, but in my run before this, it did do it even while an elite was running up to me. So I wasn't really sure why it did that, if it was just because he wasn't shooting his gun at the moment or what, but I just shoot the pane below the light bridge just so it thinks something's going on, you know, just shake it up a little bit. And anyways, it should just let you click it and move on. And I won't be doing any sped up portions here for the Warthog tracks just because it's going to be a little bit difficult for some people to know where to actually go. I struggle with that to this day, and I've been playing it since birth, it feels like, basically. But I've been playing this game for 20 years, and I literally can't find my way around sometimes, so I'm not going to be speeding this part up. But anyways, we're going to go up here to this pod, and there's going to be a sniper rifle that we want to drop, and we're also going to be, sorry, not a sniper rifle to drop, but a sniper rifle to pick up, and we're also going to be dropping off our buddy here in the gunner seat. We want to let him go because he's just a dick. No, we don't want to, no, he's not a dick, but we want to let him go because we're going to end up killing some Marines, and we just don't want to have any Marines around us that are aggroed. Up here, you're going to see me hit a little sick jump that I learned from Naked Eli, who is supposedly the mostly unclothed gamer or something. I don't know. Some of you might know what I'm talking about. But anyways, you're going to get down here, you're going to go down into this little tunnel, and you're going to smack these Marines up. You're going to go nutty on them. You're going to drop some grenades, make sure that they're all dead, and that there are no witnesses, and you're going to head back up. Sometimes you get the checkpoint immediately, and sometimes it takes a little bit, so I don't really know what to tell you there. I just make my way on out of there after killing all the Marines, and whether or not I get the checkpoint immediately, I mean, I'm still on time to be moving forward anyways, and eventually the checkpoint's going to hit. In this run, it hit the latest than it's ever hit, so I was really worried that this just wasn't going to work and I'd have to restart or go back or something, and I wasn't going to go back. I would just restart, but as you can see there, I just hit the checkpoint, so yeah, you're going to keep on moving, and I destroyed one Banshee at the beginning of the game, and I don't remember seeing another Banshee in this playthrough at all, so I'm not sure if the Banshees just despawn in general when you go a certain route, or if they just didn't come out that time because, like, they know what I'm about. I don't know, but you're going to keep making your way around here, just keep following where I went. This is also where Naked Eli went. It's where I'm getting all the best tips and tricks on how he speed ran this, because I'm not speed running, but I am using the most, I don't know, time efficient ways of completing this mission. So, which is very important for this mission. It's not going to be important in all of them because you can achieve par time and par score mildly easily in some of them, but in this one it's almost impossible to get par score and par time. You're almost shooting for one or the other. But anyways, we're going to go back behind these little rocks. You just want to shimmy your way in through there. You could probably see a moment ago I almost died. That would have been really funny if I died. And you're going to come up here, and I'm going to try and kill these Marines. It can be a little bit difficult to Warthog slam them, but if you can't, you can just get out and shoot them anyways, though you should not shoot more than 2 of them. And it might even be 2 of them that you're not supposed to shoot. I'm not sure, because as I was shooting this second one, he wasn't dead until he fell, so I don't even think it registered for me killing him. But you want to be able to Warthog hit 2 of them and shoot 1 of them, so that the Marines you face at the end of the mission aren't turned against you and aren't trying to kill you, because, I mean, they will just kill you. They're better than the actual Covenant in this game. The Marines were programmed to be a lot more accurate and deadly than the Covenant in this game when it comes to killing you. Now we are finally approaching the end segment of this mission. I have a little mishap here getting my Warthog out of the rock, but it's alright. I end up figuring it out. You're basically just going to hold right on your way out of these little rocks and try to avoid these enemies as best as you can. This dropship shouldn't matter. You should have acquired enough score before this point in the mission so that you can start to skip some of these enemies. If your score is close enough, then you should be fine, because we're not going to skip the very last segment of enemies. We're going to go up to this little hill and just try to scope out any elites first. I would recommend the red elites. If you're like me, you might miss all of your shots, and, well, I'm just boss like that, so I can't help it. But you're going to look for any enemies, any stragglers up here that you might be able to just take out a little bit sooner than when you go up to the top of the hill. But you cannot waste too much time here, because you want to start the sequence of getting to the top of the hill. Start the sequence of the enemies coming up the hill at you. And so you just want to pick off any stragglers right here. If you don't see any, then you might as well just move forward and keep going up the hill. Once you get up there, the Marines are going to be up there, and you're not going to kill these guys. Pretty sure it doesn't matter if any of them die or not, but you're just going to want to make sure that you start picking off the elites that you didn't get once you get up here. You want to take them out because, you know, the enemies are just going to go buck wild until you take them out, and there's going to be like 2 or 3, maybe more if you didn't kill any at the beginning. You're going to want to take them out, and then the jackals. The jackals come next. Remember that. They are such a pain in the ass. They'll charge shot you, and man, that can just ruin the entire playthrough if you let a jackal charge shot you. But anyways, I'm just focusing on any elites that I see come through first, and then I'll just take out the rest. Like I said, these jackals, they'll charge shot you, so you just got to be really careful. At this point in the game, I was running on 2 health bars, and I didn't think of any place I could find a health kit from here, so you just got to really play it safe. But pretty much once you take out those elites, you're in a good place. So I personally like to hide up on this rock, just because if the elites do get up here, or just any of the enemies in general, they're probably going to start messing with the Marines first, and that's cool with me, because, I mean, this game is about me, it's not about them. So we can let the Marines take some heat if they have to. And once we get done with that, we're going to jump down here, pick up some ammo if you think you might need some, and there's going to be one more group of enemies that spawn on this other side. At that point, you're just going to want to ride on over here. You don't have to bring the Warthog. This isn't a legendary speedrun, so I'm not going to be throwing my Warthog down there and running over those enemies right as they spawn, just because I'm not trying to get that pinpoint accuracy for time and anything, and I want to be able to get some of the score. So, I mean, I don't know if the Warthog would matter because you're still killing most of the enemies, but, you know, I just want to be able to keep this safe playthrough and guide for, you know, just typically playing this game. So I'm not going to be throwing my Warthog down there and trying to run over the enemies. It doesn't really matter to me. I have plenty of time after killing the Marines early on. So yeah, if you get those first 2 groups of Marines early on, the rest of this mission can be a breeze. But if you don't get them, then things get very tight with time. And I mean, I've almost never beat this on par time above normal difficulty. So this was like a huge feat for me, beating part-time, not only part-time, but part-time and score on legendary. I mean, I couldn't help but be tweaking about that. So anyways, yeah, once you're done with that, you're gonna pull on down here, bring a Warthog down, bring the Marines down. You kill them if you want because it doesn't matter anymore. But that is the most successful way to beat Halo on Halo. So next up is Truth and Reconciliation. So hit that like button, subscribe if you want to continue to see the rest of the playthrough. I really appreciate it, you guys. Life is a Planet here. Peace out.